Okay. So the today's session is the environmental health. Uh, at the end of this class, I hope that all of you can define the environmental health, discuss common environmental health issues in global and also in Malaysia perspective, discuss water and waste management, so discuss environmental hazard and noise radiation and also pollution, discuss the impact on health and economic related to environmental issues, and also explain the roles of nurses in environmental health. Okay, so definition. So we go to definition. The environmental health comprises those aspects of human health, including quality of life that are determined by physical, biological, social, and social factors in the environment. Okay, so when we talk about the environmental health, uh, it will include the human health, quality of life from physical, biological, social, and psychosocial aspect. Okay. And also refers to the theory and practice of assessing, correcting, controlling, and preventing those as factors in the environment that can potentially affect adversely the health of present and future generation. Okay, because we always here we have to care, we have to take care our world, our earth for the future generation, right? Example of environmental issues in global and also from Malaysia perspective, water pollution, waste problems, air pollution, and others include deforestation, soil erosion, and noise pollution. So caused by food safety, related to food safety, air quality, land management, building habitability, and also the water quality. So water, we know that 70% from Earth's surface consists of 97% salt water, from sea, and 3% from fresh water, 80% ice and glaciers, underground or air, and 30% surface water. Okay, and the function for domestic water, the function for domestic, industry, agriculture, recreation, safety, and also for security. Okay, so for daily water required for person, about 150 to 100 liters. So you need we need 100 to 150 to 100 liter uh, per day to use for shower, for food preparation, and so we need daily water around 150 to 100 liter per individual. Okay, so water pollution occurs when unwanted materials enter into water, changes the quality of water, and harmful to environment and human health. So we can define the water pollution cause quality and the changes of quality of water, and also can cause harmful to environment and also for human. Sources of water pollution, effluent from factories, agriculture activities, land and forest clearance activities, mining, solid waste, and also waste water. Okay, so for example, from factories and agriculture, so when they throw all the dirty water and the waste uh, water product um, into the river, into the sea. So it can cause water pollution. Okay, effect of water pollution will cause soil contamination, air contamination, and also food chain contamination. The lack of clean water supply for domestic purpose, public purpose, industry use, and also for agriculture. So it can cause these problems. For domestic use, it's like what we need water for our daily life. Okay, so water pollution also can cause breeding of disease vector, spreading of waterborne diseases, food poisoning, and also can cause skin problems. Okay, this is an example of water pollution we can see here. But now, for a few months, we all over the world, we are not talking much about the environmental health, but we are talking about COVID-19, right? But the COVID-19 also contribute to the environmental health. So I will explain later. Okay. So for water pollution control, since March 1978, about 445 sampling station developed by Department of Environment, and also for others agencies from Health Department and also Department of Irrigation and Drainage lah, okay, to control the water pollution in our country. So you have to know, okay, you have to know the government agency that related to environmental health. So for water, the agency that are responsible, Department of Environmental, Department of Irrigation and Drainage, Mining and Mineral Department, Local Authority, Fishery Department, and also Health Department. So to clean our water, we have purification. We have small scale, granular or activated carbon filtering, and also we have reverse osmosis. Okay, for small scale, we use boiling or filtration. So this one usually at home. Okay, so we just to treat our water, we use purification in small scale. We just boiling the water at home, or we use filtration. So meaning that you can see that on the pipe, you put the filter, right? You can buy from DIY or TMG. So you put the filter on the tip of the pipe at your home. Okay, so and then we have also granular activated carbon filtering. This one like cocoa, Hoey, and many more. So they use carbon to filter the water and to treat the water. Okay, and then also we have reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis, if you buy the water, the drinking water, some of the water they use. Okay, so like this one, I hope you can see this. Uh, this one mineral water. Okay, some of the drinking water they use reverse osmosis, so they treat the water to be the drinking water. Okay, and then purification of seawater for drinking purposes. Okay, so this one usually in offshore. Okay, in offshore or in the ship. Okay, dekat offshore ataupun dekat kapal-kapal. So they use reverse osmosis where they take the water, the sea water, and then they do reverse osmosis. So the water can be used for drinking, for shower, um, for bathing, or for preparation of food. Okay, so far any question? I think I need uh, to have another one so that I can see. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's like cannot. So they will make a noise. So there will be an environmental uh, noise pollution during class. Okay, so we have another one, the large scale purification. So we have six step of large purification. So step one, the pre-treatment of water. So the water will be pumped and containment. So they will do screening and the storage and preconditioning and also pre-chlorinating procedure for in step one. Then after that, they go to step two for coagulations. The water treated aluminium hydroxide, they will use the hydroxide between 5 to milligram per liter. Okay, and the step three flocculation, the process which make the water colorless and remove any turbidity or colors. So that's why we can see the water that we receive at home to be used is clear, right? So we can see how actually the purification happen to treat our water from river and from the reservoir to our home. Okay, then the step four, sedimentation, detain for 2 hours. So they want retain for 2 hours actually. Okay, the fluctuant with impurities and bacteria settle down in the tank. So they will retain for 2 to 6 hours. So the all the bacteria, all the ni, they will be mendap, will be mendap on base of the tank. And then step five is the filtration. So done through rapid sand filtration, and also for step six, disinfection. So for chlorination, so they will use chlorine to kill the pathogenic bacteria and makes the water safe. So that's why uh, sometimes we feel like the smell chlorine. So they have they must follow the the dosage, the dosage that allow to use chlorine to treat the water. Okay. So action of the chlorines combine with carbon dioxide and water to form carbonated and hypochlorous acid. So this acid very unstable and break up into hydrochloride and oxygen. Then the free oxygen kills bacteria and free chlorines and as a germicide. Okay, so you have to remember action of the chlorine. Okay, so we go to solid waste, defined as any garbage, refuse sludge from waste treatment plant, water supply treatment plant, or air pollution control facility and other materials, including solid, liquid, semi-solid content gases resulting from industrials, commercialized mining or agriculture operation from community activities. Okay. Okay, for solid waste management condition in Malaysia, so it's about 17,000 ton of waste are generated per day in Peninsular Malaysia. So you just imagine that we every day we produce waste product, so high waste product. And average per capita generation of waste is about 0.5 kg per day, eh? per 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 individu, per individu. So about 85 kg waste per day. Per capita generation of waste in Kuala Lumpur is about 1.5 kg per day. So this one I think you can read through. Okay, improper solid management are mainly related to people living in urban, underdeveloped areas and informal settlement. So we know that solid waste or related to people living in urban. So how they actually develop the waste product. Okay. Then the government has been working to minimize developmental disparity throughout the country and reset the urban poor in low cost flat and long houses to be minimized in the years to come. Okay. And about 76 of beneficial solid waste are disposed of properly, while the rest is thrown into illegal dump, drains, canals and rivers. So we can see that how actually our as a community we throw the solid waste improperly. Okay. Okay, disposal methods for beneficial solid waste in Malaysia comprise of 10% composting. Okay, they use compost and 50% open dumping and 30% landfilling. So this from United Nations Environment Program. Okay. Okay, for national strategy plan, so how we actually manage our waste products by upgrading unsanitary landfills as well as constructive of new sanitary landfill and transfer station with integrated material recovery the facilities. So and also they continue to be accorded to the reduction, reuse, recovery, recycling of waste as well as greater use of environment friendly materials such as bioplastic. So now we our Malaysia government so from the national strategy plan we launch that no plastic bag during weekend and no plastic bag on Saturday and Sunday. So we have to bring our recycle bag or eco green bag. So we, in order actually to support the national strategy plan. And then the legislation of streamlined solid waste management has been enacted to facilitate the implementation of strategy and measures in the strategy plan. And the activities campaign for raising awareness have been promoted to educate the public on the benefit of practicing sustainable consumption and solid waste management. So we can see now the awareness increase compared to the early stage of implementation of a national strategy for recycling and for reuse the plastic bag. So we now we can see that our community they have more awareness and they always bring the reuse bag to buy food or to buy all the stuff during weekend because no plastic bags during weekend. Okay, example of solid waste. This how actually we why the Malaysian government implement the national strategy for reuse and recycle. You see how many how much waste we produce every day. Okay, so for solid waste in Peninsula Malaysia produce this one seems like a previous slide. Okay, so produced by household and factories daily for food waste, food waste. But now we have food bank. So this one food waste, especially for hotel or for a restaurant. So they cook a lot of food and then they are able to sell to all the food, then happen food waste. But now we have a food bank, so we can we take all the food uh, that still can eat, so we give to the gelandangan. So this how we can see the government try to overcome, try to overcome this solid waste. And paper, plastic, wood, demolition products, and brick pipes, sewage treatment, that animal, street refuse, leaf branches, animal waste, industrial waste from chemical and dust. Okay, waste treatment and disposal. We have a waste treatment incineration. We can dispose use solidification, heat treatment, and also chemical treatment. So for waste disposal, we can use the landfills, underground injection wells, waste pile, and land treatment. So if you bypass from uh, if you bypass the road to go to LPT2 highway, you can see on your left where the open um, area to disposal all the waste product. Okay, the incineration, solidification for solid waste are melted and evaporated to produce a sand-like residue. Heat treatment applied at moderate temperature is used in treating volatile solvents. Chemical treatments, okay. So you can read through this. So impact of solid waste, okay, the chemical poisoning through chemical inhalations. Uncollected waste can obstruct the stormwater runoff resulting in flood. Okay, so this is what happened when the banjir kilat apa this why the banjir kilat happened in KL, in Melaka, because previous time we know that flood usually happen in East Coast region of Peninsula Malaysia. So we know that flood will happen in Pahang, Terengganu and Kelantan. But nowadays we can see flood happen in KL, in Bukit Bintang, for example, used because of impact of the solid improper or poor solid waste management, and the low birth weight, and also can cause cancer, congenital malformation, and also neurological diseases. Okay, these are landfill site and incineration site. So how they dispose the waste product. So impact of solid waste, it can cause nausea, vomiting, increased hospitalization, okay, and also mercury toxicity from eating fish with high level of mercury. Okay, so far any question, class?
No. Not
Okay,
yet.
then
No.
because it's like I read my I read my slide without I can't see you all. Okay. So for air pollution, uh, air pollution is the introduction of particles, biological molecules, or other harmful gases, okay, so into the atmosphere, causing disease, death to human, damage to other living organisms such as animal, food, crops, or the natural environment. So in Kuantan, so in Kuantan way, you always can see the air pollution in Kuantan,
Bamboo,
Semambu. Hmm? Okay.
maybe.
So area in Semambu or Gebeng, where all the factory located. Okay. So air pollution index, or this also happened in our country last year, right? I think last year or last 2 years. Okay, we facing with the jerebu, right? The air pollution. So you have to know the air pollution index, API, air pollution index from 0 to 5 until uh, more more than 100 until 200 consider unhealthy environment uh, index, and then more than 300 considered hazardous. And so this is what happened. I think in last 5 years is we always facing this problem because we got affected from our neighbor country, from Indonesia. Eh? Sources of air pollution, it will come from automobiles, industries, incineration, burning refuse, domestic sources, agriculture activities, and others. So like here, uh, in our campus, we try to implement the eco green campus, right? But still, still not achieve the target, I think, because yeah, me myself also, if I want to go to I rather bring my car, and so this how actually the sources of air pollution in our community setting. So example of causes of air pollution, so you can see here, okay, the ni from mobile, from industry, and from the fire of forest. Okay. So this has in Malaysia, phenomena jerebu in Malaysia. I think this one in 2018. I'm not if not mistaken, in 2018, we face this the latest problems, or in 2019. 2019, because 2019 in November I went to Jakarta, so still, even after few months, still we can smell like smoke in Jakarta. Okay, impact of air pollution, adverse effect of air pollution can cause health problems, health problems, livestock damage, agriculture damage, material damage, and also effect on climate change lah. Increase in carbon dioxide, enhance the temperature of earth, and melting polar ice cap and glaciers lah. So it can affect to our earth. Okay, this cause of the air pollution and cause of the jerebu will affect to education sector, health sector. Okay, so the major causes of pollutions that can cause illness and death damage to habitat and ecosystem, loss of plant and animal life, and loss of natural resources, and also economic consequences and transboundary impact, the acid rain, ice pollution, water pollution, nuclear fallout, and also peace and security. So when, for example, his in Malaysia previous time in 2019. So we feel like no, it caused the upper respiratory tract infection. So we feel not secure. We are not in comfortable situation. So this how the air pollution can cause effect to our health system. Okay, and also affect to the greenhouse. So this one, I think, is more like you revise your science subject. How affect the pollution can affect the our greenhouse. Okay, so uh, even the environmental health can affect for our health, but they also affect to our economic, which the increased utility and maintenance of the cost. Okay, increase utility and maintenance of the cost in hospital, for example during his during jerebu. So they have to treat many, the increasing number of patient seeking for treatment, so this how actually increase and give impact to the economy. So increase over time cost. Okay, for example, uh, cases, for example, the environmental health uh, problems happen in Pasir Gudang previous. Still remember?
Yeah.
Uh, so still remember, right, how actually the environmental health happen, problem. So the gas, so the one is the air pollution, and also cause water pollution, and so that the effect to the health, and also to incur cost for our hospital, for our healthcare services. So the healthcare provider, the nurses, the doctor, and the lab staff, they need to work more than usual time, so it can cause increase the overtime cost, so also affect to our economy. So increase the disposable equipment, okay, and also increase medication cost, where during this situation, so many people are seeking for treatment, so it can cause incur the medication cost to our government. So the roles of nurses in environmental health. So you have to do assessment and communicating risk of environmental hazard to individuals, family, and communities. So we have to educate patient, family, and community about environmental health and how to address the key environmental health issues. So we do the assessment on the problems, for example, during hazard, during his so during jerebu, so we have to educate them, so to minimize outside activities, and then wear masks, and then always wash hands, so something like that. Okay, so but uh, during COVID, so during this current situation, uh, what is the environmental pollution uh, you can see affected from COVID-19? So I will give topic for you to discuss later, related to environmental health. And then to show leadership in personal practice that support and reduce harm to the environment, collaborating with multidisciplinary team to identify and mitigate environmental health risks, okay, advocating policies, producing insights, include research, environmental health issue. Because nowadays also we have nurses that continue for master and PhD in environmental health, because for environmental health related um, courses with nursing is broad. So you can be, after this, maybe after your bachelor, you want to continue for your master in environmental health also can, okay, because it's uh, mm, the branches in nursing also. Okay, the promoting and development of natural and built environments that support health. Okay. So we know that Malaysian government committed to preserve and conserve the quality of environment of health. Okay, develop the environmental health unit as a center of excellence for provision of environmental health research and programs. Okay, also Malaysia face the challenges of driving the process through facilitating appropriate collaboration, producing environmental health practitioners, and also continue to play an active role in planning and implementing environmental health activities at the national level in addressing related environmental health issues. Okay, so uh, I'm not sure yet, but I try to discuss with Dr. Ani and Dr. Sharifah Munira. Maybe we can bring you all to our campus. Okay, we have one unit. They treat the waste food, and then they make it as compost, baja compost. So I try to discuss with them, and also ask my friend Dr. Atika. She as a deputy director uh, of the, I'm not sure the name of of the unit, but they are responsible to treat and to treat the waste, to food waste, and to make it as a compost, as budget compost. Then they sell the budget compost. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So, any question?
Doctor, I
Yeah.
have one question.
Okay.
On your water pollution slide, I'm not sure which slide. I think the effect of the water pollution, maybe. The sentence is breeding of diseases vector. Can you explain further on that?
Uh, Water pollution, right?
Yep.
Okay, for example, if we are not care, if you are not mm, okay. So for example, we know how actually dengue, the dengue happen. So this will be under your non-communicable disease. So how actually, if you are not care about the drainage of water, so it can cause disease vector. So for example, the dengue, and then we also can cause the cholera. Mm? Okay.
For
Who's
me, how about the second one, spreading of waterborne disease? Is it like can you explain
now?
more on?
Okay, spreading of waterborne disease. So any if you are not if you are not care, if you are not concerned about the water pollution happen around our area, uh, even in the community, so it can cause the waterborne disease. So just like I mentioned, so it can cause cholera, it can cause food poisoning. For example, leptospirosis. So right. So for example, that you just put your water tank, and then we are not concerned about our water river, so it can cause a spreading of the water disease. So when there is a waste, or when cause okay for example, I give you the simple. Okay, you go to picnic. Okay, you go for picnic at the mana-mana sungai lah, for example, and then you are not care about the river water tu, so it can cause, so you just throw your food, you just throw your all the waste ni, so it will give attention to the rat, to the ni, to makan lah kat situ semuanya, and then it can cause leptospirosis, uh, the contamination of the water, river water. So this how actually spreading the waterborne disease. So bila berlakunya leptospirosis, and then you pergi mandi, you pergi mandi, and then you mungkin terminum air sungai tu apa kan, so it can cause uh, the disease. Boleh? Siapa yang tanya ni?
Saya faham je doktor, thank you.
Okay ke? Am I
Yeah, doctor answered the question.
so it's something like that. Okay, even though around our house, so we just throw the drink tank, the drink can, so we just throw, so it can cause the spreading of the disease effect of the water pollution. Okay, food poisoning, so food poisoning. So if you not care, we are not give attention to our environment, it can cause many problems. It's not just for the health, also can affect to our economic, as well. Skin problems. Okay. So now uh, okay, another example. This one happened, I think, in last year or last 2 years. So how they use poison, eh, in Cameron Highland. So they use uh, poison that are not allowed to use for agriculture. Okay. So then when they use the poison for their uh, for agriculture purposes, and then they throw all the water waste product to the river, and then to the reservoir around the area. So this happened. Okay, this true story, uh, real case in Malaysia. So when they throw the waste water product into the river, into the reservoir. So cause when the animals, so for example, they drink the water, then can cause that to the animal. So when even they use um, uh, the poison that are not allowed for agriculture. So when we buy the vegetables, we eat the vegetables, it can cause cancer to us, right? This is example, this ecosystem, how actually the environmental health can affect to our health system. And also when increase cancer cases, they can also cause the increase cost to treat, so will increase our economic uh, cost to treat. Okay, okay ke?
Okay.
Siapa tanya tadi tu? Afizam ke siapa? Ke Danish yang tanya?
Saya doktor.
Fatur Rahman.
Betul doktor.
Okay. Boleh ke? Okay,
Boleh boleh doktor.
any other questions? So this you can see how actually the ecosystem and the effect of the environment to the health and also to our economy.
Doktor,
Yes, Hafizam.
Doktor, hari tu saya pergi Berjaya Mega Mall. Lepas tu ada macam satu grup ni dia macam berkempen untuk go green tau.
Aha.
Lepas tu dia bagi tahu Malaysia ni ada beli sampah daripada luar negara, daripada negara luar. So dia suruh saya sign macam sokong go green lah. Dia cakap macam
Oh,
tu
dia
lah. Saya pelik Malaysia ni dah penuh dengan sampah. Tapi kerajaan masih beli sampah pula. Macam mana kita nak atasi masalah tu dari segi nursing?
hmm. Okay, I'm not sure apa tu yang you kata tu Malaysia beli sampah tu. I think it's not beli sampah. Maybe they buy the macam apa yang reusable thing kan. So for example macam plastik ataupun paper, yang tu mungkin if I don't think so that our government buy sampah waste product from other countries, because we in our country also we have a lot of sampah already, right? So maybe they buy the thing, the apa, reusable thing to produce something else. For example, that now we use campaign recycle, kan? So we put everywhere all the tong yang warna biru, orange and apa hijau tu kan. So for recycle. So I think if we have this kind of project or program, we should not support. We should not support, as we know that the consequences of the project, if really a government buy all the waste product from other countries. Okay, as a nursing, we have to educate ourselves and also to the community how to take care of the environment, how we have to take care our environment to save the river water, the sea water, and how we save our jungle. So this is our roles as a nurses, as a community nurse, towards the environment. in our country. Okay, Hafizam, have you asked the people
Okey doktor.
actually? Have you asked the people what the exactly project about?
Dia macam cakap dengan saya, kita tak sokong lah Malaysia tu beli sampah. Dia cakap macam tu dengan saya lah. Dia kata kalau you sign dekat board ni, maknanya you tak setuju dengan tindakan kerajaan Malaysia ni. Lepas tu saya cakap lah, alah kerajaan Malaysia ni nak duit je. Tu yang dia beli sampah daripada luar negara tu.
Okay. I'm not sure, but I think they must explain properly. Is what is the program actually? Might be maybe they didn't give you a proper explanation. So that's why I think. But as our rules, we have to educate. We have to educate and to give good role models. For example, okay, for example, very easy. So for example, you go to apa? You go to Taman Bandar, for example, okay? So you go Taman Bandar, you go for jogging, so you can see all the people throw all the garbage, all the garbage, all the waste product, the bottle, the drinking bottle and whatsoever. So this our rules, we can collect all the sampah, and then we collect all the sampah, then we show. So when we teach our community from the rules model, so they will have I mean the info will be lebih, I mean lebih terkesan. So they can see that, okay, I can see one of the URA student, they went for jogging and they collect all the garbage. So automatically they will think that they are not supposed to throw all the sampah. So this how actually we try to educate our community, because different, we need to use the different approach. Sometimes we give health education, we just keep on talking, don't throw the waste product, don't throw the garbage, don't throw the sampah on the river, on the but we are not show, we are not showing them the proper uh, action we reflect to our environment. So if you can do that, I think inshallah, so we can save our environment. Cubalah Afizam and friends pergi dekat Taman Bandar je kan, macam tu. Okay, because kat mana I tengok pantai, I tak ingat kat mana, tapi ada I pergi satu tempat, I jogging and I can see ni dekat Tasik Pelindung, near to my house, I can see that ada dua orang tu dia kutip sampah. Dia bawa plastik and then dia kutip sampah. I'm not sure lah sebab dia pakai baju biasa, so I think that he will be one of the volunteer to save our environment. Okay. Okay, Afizam and others and the rest.
Okey
Okay.
doktor. Thank you.
Okay, we have finished our first class. So if you want to continue with the second class, I think we cannot finish by 9:45 because now 9:35 already. So I have 10 minutes left before I need to join the takrim. because they do online also, but because I'm one of the recipient of the award. Okay, so I'll have to be physically there. Okay, so I think we have to stop our class.